Hi and welcome to a new video. Come here to one of my favourite dealerships. I shall forget the keys in the car there. Right. Preston Caravans and Motorhomes here. There's a few people looking around. Let's have a look. Just coming look at just going to be a bit of a vlog about caravans and how expensive caravans become. Let's have a look. Let's just get see what I'm going to look at. The Bailey Olympus. Now, you know, not one of my big favourite vans. It's a 525, so it is the double dinette layout, good family layout, 5 berth, and it's a 2011, and it's up for 8.5 grand near enough. Just a 5 short. I'm going to have a quick look inside it anyhow. Whew. Right, let's have a look. Quite warm in here. It's quite sunny outside. Right, so caravanning. We're all moaning it's going more expensive, and it is. So, how much does it cost? People ask me that, and I give them a lot of different costs actually, because it depends how you want to make your caravanning as affordable for yourselves. While we're in here, I think we should look at this Olympus. Now, as I said before, I did a review on that Olympus, didn't I? I've never been a big fan of Olympuses. This wallboard especially, now you probably might not see it in this light, but it's really sort of going a yellowy colour, and it's still the same sort of wallboard, GRP wallboard that they use today in the modern Tourers of Bailey's. It's held together quite well. You do get these, as I say, these clips here, which on my Ranger, if you don't open one of these cupboards, it gets warm and what have you, this seal sticks to it. And now you think, well, that's not going to be much of a problem, but it can actually be quite a stubborn thing to open up. I like this layout, and I've got this layout in my Ranger, but this is a great family layout because the kids can come round in the back here and you can close them off in the evening. You've got a solid door here, like I've got in my Ranger, although they did put I think it was a curtain across there, but I had Bailey put me a solid partition across here like my old Ranger. And you've got a bunk there above, and this makes of course into a great double bed. In fact, it's very much like the Ranger GT60 of mine. Let's have a quick look in the old bathroom. Decent shower in here, separate shower compartments, Thetford cassette loo, and a little roof vent up the top there. It's quite dark in here. They could have done with a bigger roof vent, I suppose, but anyway. But it's all in pretty good nick. Loose fit carpet, of course, and we've got a Truma dual fuel heater there, gas and electric. There's the carpet in there. Decent sized wardrobe as well, actually, in all fairness. It's a long time since I've looked at this 545. And across the kitchen here. Now, what I do like about this actually, as I say, the condition is really good. I like the condition of it. As I say, it's a 2011, but it's in nice condition. But you've got lots of work surface here, plenty of it, plenty of work surface, and plenty of cupboard storage space too. Full oven, of course, spark ignition, and the Thetford fridge. Plus, we must not forget the old Daewoo as well, the old microwave, and the Heike roof vent. Coming to this lounge area here, I mean, yes, the seating's now looking a little bit sort of bedraggled, but I mean, I've been sat on this and there's still plenty of, it's probably better seating than it was in my Ranger actually, in all fairness. You don't have a chest of drawers here at the middle. Some people won't mind that. But you still do get the radio at the top there, and this little handy pouch thing here as well. Plus you've got your controls here for your heater and your water heater. Again, decent storage, big cupboards. The status aerial there, which I've always rated, and big storage lockers here. Now for £8.5 for a family, this is pretty good value, I think. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it, like I've said to you before, but you know, doesn't really matter what I think on that score, because for the money to start you off in your caravan, and this could really prove a really good van. There's plenty of space, and someone's replaced the old original socket here, and they've got the USB sockets there, which is pretty good. So all in all, this is a really nice van for somebody who's starting off. Now this is what I mean, this, you can make caravanning as expensive you want. So what do we think? Well, as I say, this is a great van for 8.5k actually. Now I did a thing recently for the Daily Mail, a bit of a feature. It was about caravanning. Now what he didn't tell me, this guy, was actually he was going to compare it to other holiday sources. Now if I'd have done that, I'd have told him completely different things altogether. And as it was, some of the things I did tell him, he twisted. I had a park ring me up about it, and I also had the NCC ring me up about it. Now they know jolly well that I'm pro caravan motorhoming and the holiday caravan as well. And now the holiday caravan's got a lot of stick of late, as we know, and this is what they were playing on as well. But they were saying a package holiday is cheaper than a caravan. Well, of course it is initially, but this is what I keep telling people: if you buy a static, a motorhome or whatever, or a touring caravan, it's a long-term investment. The thing about this is you can still get some money back for your holiday. You can't with your package holidays or your cruises. That's it, done and gone. Finito bonito, that's it. But the caravan or a motorhome or whatever, you can still get something back. And that's what he never mentioned. Now, back in the 70s, sorry to turn the old clock back here, and I mentioned this in the story of the static caravan. Not sorry, static caravan, the touring caravan in the 1970s. There was a big inflation, caravan prices were going up, and basically what was happening was this: package holidays coming in, and the package holiday was starting to hammer the touring caravan market. Now back then a package holiday would cost near enough as much as a touring caravan. It was giving people an alternative. People said, well, do you know what, I want to go and get some sun. I don't mind spending £300 or £400, I'm going to get some sun. And what the caravan industry hit back with, or CI caravans, the makers of Sprite as it was then, they turned around and said, look, yeah, you can have your package holiday, no doubt about it, but at the end of it, once the suntan's faded, you've got fed up of looking at the photographs, that's it, it's done and over with. You've spent £400 or £500 on a Sprite caravan, you've got weekends as well as other holidays as well to use it for. So a caravan is not just for a holiday, it's for many holidays. And it's like people were saying I've said to you before on this channel, is that look, you know, people said to me, oh, but my caravan's only worth, you know, it's an old van, and I've said the old thing, is it safe, is it roadworthy, do you enjoy it? Yes we do, but it's not as flash as that caravan across the other side. Look, you don't have to have a brand new caravan to enjoy caravanning, believe me. I've had some in the past and I've enjoyed it, yes of course I have, but my first van was an oldish van, and now my old van I own now, which is my Ranger GT60, is older than the first van I bought. So, you know, does it bother me? No, it doesn't really, to be quite honest with you, because at the end of the day, you know, I've not used that van for a few years. It's been sat there, it's been mothballed because of other pressing things, but it's still there, you know. It's still there to use. I'll need to put new tyres on, new leisure battery, get it quick check over, and it's back up and running. There's no damp in there. It's dry stored from new. It's been looked after. As I say, all the moment now it's just thick with dust. But that's not a problem. You don't have to spend a lot of money on a caravan. And anybody that thinks you do, well, no, you don't. Watch this video, because as like I've said, yes, caravan isn't the cheap holiday it used to be. But then again, there are very few cheap holidays. I believe camping now is becoming very expensive as well. Buying a tent, etc., you know, especially a decent one that you're going to want it to last. I mean, a caravan generally looked after and serviced will last a long, long time. And, you know, again, you'll get some money back. Now, a friend of mine just sold his 2002, I think it was 2002, 2001 dealer special. It was a Barron's dealer special. It was based on a Swift Challenger at the time. And he's had it always regularly serviced, and he hadn't used it, and he said, I'm going to sell the van. And he said, how much do you think I'll get for it? I said, I don't know, to be quite honest. It's a 2-berth and washroom, quite a lot of knocking about. You know, you could have it for quite a while. So anyway, I said you could try £3,000 for it, something like that. Oh, I'd be happy with that. Anyway, he did sell it, and he got just short of 4,000 quid. The van was dry. As I say, it'd been well serviced. There'd been a few additions to it, but inside it was in really nice condition. And somebody came along and said, this is exactly what we want, 4,000 quid. You know, we'll get a good few holidays out of that. That's excellent value. And we can still sell it on. And it's what they said, the guy, when I looked at the Bailey pageant a couple of weeks ago, do you remember? The 2004, which was a lovely van. And I think they wanted about £3,500 for it. I can't remember. And like the dealer said, I said, that van's brilliant. He said, fantastic. He said, somebody could sell it in 2 years' time and still get £2,000 for it. You know, so you've got to look at it like that when you're buying a caravan. But if you've got the money and you think it's worthy to spend thousands upon thousands of pounds on all singing, all dancing, top of the range, 8 foot wide, twin axle, then that's down to you. But are you going to enjoy your caravan more than, say, the guy next door whose caravan's 10 years old and hasn't got quite the gizmos? It's hard to say, isn't it? So yes, caravanning has become a lot more expensive, and we know that COVID's been a big major problem, and that's caused a lot of that to happen. And you know, I don't know how caravan's going to go. The electric car on the horizon. I know you can tow with some electric car. I know somebody's been towing an electric car, and that's great, but you don't see very many electric cars towing. Most electric cars that have been bought second-hand have been ex-lease cars, so they've done quite high mileage. So, you know, and also a dealer told me that, you know, when they put it up for what a car can tow and it's electric, I think it says on most occasions, you know, they don't recommend towing with that car. Anyway, back onto another subject. Generally, used caravan sales. I'm here at Preston Caravans and Motorhomes. Quite a few people looking around, a couple of families, so that's good to see. 2026 models will be coming, hitting the forecourts the next couple of weeks. I'm hoping to bring you a review on the new Bailey Phoenix, so we can see what, if any, improvements have done on that. And yes, I'll give you a full review on that. And I think the Pegasus as well, I think, has been done. I can't remember, it's offhand. The days when Bailey used to do a proper trade show are long gone. Again, a problem with COVID really was you know, that's put an end to all that. Now, if you're out and about next weekend, which is, I think, the 12th, 13th, something like that, of September, Swift and Avtolia Sport are having a factory open day. Well, not so much about the factory, no, but they'll have all the latest 2026 models on display at their factory in the grounds, and there'll be refreshments and there'll be all sorts of things going on. So look out for that. and you can also try and your hand at towing a caravan, so around the big complex. So that should be good fun. Now I'm going to sign off here, and I'm going to say to you on this parting gesture is, if you're looking at buying a caravan, go to what you can afford. Do not overspend, because if you don't like it, you know, but go for what you can afford. Go to a good dealership who basically will look after you and guide you as to what your car can tow. Keep to your budget. Budget for your storage if you can't store it at home. Budget out for also your caravan insurance, your tow bar. Put it all down, write it all down, add it all up and say that is what we need, so this is what we've got to spend on the caravan. So if you've got 8 grand, you might find that actually you've only got 6,500 to spend on a caravan because of all the bits and pieces that you need. So do take that in mind, and as I said to you before, you can make caravanning as expensive as you want to or as cheap as you want to. It's down to you. You don't have to have a brand new shiny van as long as the caravan's safe, it's not rotting away, everything's working okay. What the hell, at the end of the day you're going to go and enjoy some caravanning. It doesn't matter if you've not got the shiniest caravan on the side, it doesn't make any difference. You've got to go out and enjoy it. And at one time I suppose I'd have been thinking my Ranger's now getting on, but now I think, I look at new vans and I think, that's a lot of money. Even if I could afford it, I don't know if I could warrant paying out some of the money. And if it would be for more entry-level tourers, which is, of course, as you know, vans like the Sprites for me, I still think they're the best value. Now 2026 you'll see some changes on the Sprite, and they've narrowed the layouts down to 4 layouts, but I've got a feeling there just may be some more layouts on the way at some stage, hopefully some family layouts too. I'd like to see this layout, the old double dinette. That would be fantastic to see this layout again, because I think this layout really does actually work very well. It's a great area for the kids to play around down this bottom end, and if there's 2 of you at the end of it all, like me and my wife used to make this up as a double bed, close this off, so we got basically our fixed bed. We got our bit down here, down the bottom end, where we could lounge about, etc. And then, you know, one of us wanted to go to bed, there you go, pop into bed, no making it up, it's already there. But if friends turned up, what we would do is literally convert this back, and we've got our seating back again. So on that note, I'll see you on the next one, and hopefully you've enjoyed this little how caravan doesn't have to cost you as much, but be prepared to spend a lot to get up and going. So remember to deduct that off the image you've got of how much you've got to spend on a caravan. So like I've said, if you got 10 grand, take a couple of grand off that, so you're up and running, so you've got your storage sorted out, your tow bar, etc, etc, and then you can start looking at caravans around the 8,000 mark. That's the thing, that's the way to do it. Nothing worse than looking at a caravan that's you fall in love with, and then when it comes to start putting your tow bar on, your storage and all that sort of thing, you've gone way over budget and you can't afford it. So I'll see you on the next one. Please keep watching, please keep subscribing. Thanks to everybody that's been subscribing, and I really am very pleased about the way the channel's going. And yes, I'm gonna have a bit of a nosy round, see who's doing what here. I'll go and chat a few customers up. I love doing that, find out what they're after. See you on the next one.